In an earlier chapter, we explored the 5 geometric forms that we can create in the family editor. All 5 forms use at least one sketch to determine their shape. 2 of those forms, however, the sweep and the swept blend, offer an alternative to drawing the sketch directly in the form. They can instead use a nested profile family. Profile family is just a 2-dimensional closed shape. You can use them to draw any shape that you wish to apply to the sweeps and the swept blends in your families. The advantage to using the profile family is that common typical shapes can easily be reused and shared among multiple forms and even among multiple families. So I have my table open on screen that we've been working on in the last several movies, and we're going to create a profile that we're then going to sweep around the edge of the table to kind of represent a molding maybe, or a sculpted edge around this table rather than just a square cut. So to start, we're going to go to the application menu and we'll highlight new, and we're going to create a new family. Now we've seen this box before. Here's all our family templates, and if we scroll down, we will notice that there are several profile families. We have just a generic profile family template. We have a generic hosted template, a mullion profile, rail, reveal, stair nosing. So obviously these are very specific. This is the one you would use if you were creating a mullion. This is the one you'd use for a railing, for a stair nosing, and so on. You have 2 choices here for profiles that can be used in more generic situations. A hosted profile is really what you would use if you were creating a wall sweep or a wall reveal. Little difficult to see in the illustration over here, but there's some text on there telling you where the wall would be versus where you would draw your profile. So there's just some little text cues there. For our case, to just create a profile that we're going to use in geometric sweep in a family, we can just simply use the simplest one, the simple generic profile family. So we're going to go ahead and open that up, and it will open up a single view, and you're looking at what should now be the familiar 2 reference planes, center front back and center left right. The intersection of these 2 reference planes is the insertion point of the profile. So we're going to see that that's actually going to be important when we use this profile shape in the family. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to imagine that this intersection is the corner of the tabletop. So I want to draw the shape that I'm creating relative to that point and that tabletop edge. Let me go ahead and maximize this up. If you look at the ribbon here, you could see that because we're in a profile family, this is just a 2D family. It's kind of similar to the tag family that we created at the start of the course. You only have 2D shapes here. You can bring in lines and detail components, and that's about it. Well, lines is all we need. We can draw any shape we want. I'm going to click that tool, and you can draw a line or a rectangle or polygon or circle, whatever shape you want your profile to have. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to move over maybe about 1.5 inches. I'm going to come down, zoom in a little bit closer. I'm going to come down about 1/2 inch, come over a little bit, maybe switch to a curve, and I'll just draw a little curve shape here, and I'll end up with a line. We can use this shape as either an additive shape or a subtractive shape when we use it back in the family. I've kind of drawn it with a subtractive shape in mind, but it really could be used for either one just by simply rotating it and flipping it. The whole point of a profile family is it's meant to be a little bit more universal. If you want, you can actually add dimensions here, and I can try and lock down the sizes a little bit. So I could start to put dimensions on here, and you can even take these dimensions and make them parametric if you want to. Now, for this example, I don't really need to do that, but what the advantage of that would be is I could then go to family types, and I could add types to this. And so if this same basic molding shape came in 2 or 3 or 4 different sizes, then using all the same techniques that we've learned elsewhere in the family editor would apply here. We could place the dimensions, label those dimensions, and then create types. For this example, as I say, I'm going to keep it at just the one size here, so basically doing a one-off. And let me save it as a family, and I'm going to call this table edge. And I will then load it into my project. And that will take me back to my table family, and we're ready to start creating solid or void forms from this profile. And that will be the subject of the next movie.